Hello, and welcome to the Louisville Creative Center short animation movie about the Louisville Creative School Project. The mission of the Louisville Creative School is to prepare students artistically and personally to matriculate into the rigors of collegiate academia with classically enriched skills, creativity, integrity, and a respect for culturally diverse environments. Everyone the world over is talking about education reform. Mostly the talk is complaining. Standards are too low. There's too much testing. There are not enough teachers. The students are not as good as they used to be. There's too much greed and politics in the system. In fact, there are so many complaints that the whole situation can seem hopeless. But there are solutions out there. Some of those solutions are good, and some are bad. But with so many proposed solutions, how can you begin to know which solutions will work and which solutions won't? Just guess and hope it all works out for your child? Sadly, this is all too often where parents find themselves. One solution that is common in the United States is charter schools. Another common solution is school vouchers. Both charter schools and school vouchers have good points and bad points. Both solutions, for example, tend to lead to smaller classroom sizes, and there is ample evidence proving that smaller class sizes lead to better learning results. But these solutions are not universal in the United States.
Kentucky, for example, has neither. In fact, there's a hotly contested argument about the possible constitutionality of charter schools and school vouchers in Kentucky. This is because Section 186 of the Kentucky Constitution, which states, quote, "All funds accruing to the school fund shall be used for the maintenance of the public schools of the Commonwealth and for no other purpose," end quote. Of course, just what public school means in relation to charter schools is up for debate, but that debate is far from settled in Kentucky, which does not do much for students in the school system right now.
This is why the Louisville Creative School will be a nonprofit private school, operating under the 501c3 nonprofit charity of the Louisville Creative Center. This means a great many things. First, our funding will be entirely driven by tuition paid by the students' families and by charitable donations from individuals such as yourself.
Contributions to the Louisville Creative School Project are tax deductible in accordance with IRS rules governing charitable tax deductions and the various state laws governing charitable tax deductions. This also means that the Louisville Creative School will receive no money from the United States federal government or the Kentucky state government. The trade-off is actually being able to teach a curriculum that is not mandated by Washington, D.C. or Frankfort, Kentucky.
So what will the Louisville Creative School curriculum be? The curriculum will be a hybridization of the classical languages teaching model and the arts-infused teaching model. Both models have a high degree of success in producing well-rounded, culturally literate, and motivated students that are both career and college-ready at graduation. Language arts-infused education improves vocabulary comprehension, cultural understanding, and rational thought. Studies show that learning a second language in early childhood is as easy as learning a first language. Furthermore, learning a second language during early childhood greatly increases the ease of third language acquisition later in life. For all students at any age, foreign language study increases the student's ability to function in an increasingly multicultural and interconnected world because it is absolutely impossible to study a foreign language without also studying the culture of the country and/or the time period. Whatever you might think of the global integrated world economy, it's here to stay, and a student's ability to speak foreign languages and understand foreign cultures will only improve the future prospects of economic security and prosperity.
On the other hand, fine arts-infused education allows young students between the ages of 3 and 6 to experience their world in physical ways, so the many creative arts will be a daily part of the Louisville Creative School learning environment. But it's not only young students that benefit from an arts-infused learning environment. Older students develop creative self-expression, which leads to greater excitement about learning and helps the development of fine and gross motor skills in a non-competitive environment.
The creative arts complement language acquisition because of the narrative nature of children's art. This is because when a child is presented with a project that has an infinite number of solutions, the child develops problem-solving skills and a higher level abstract thinking, both of which are skills needed for a high level of success in our society. The Louisville Creative School Classical Language program will start with Spanish in preschool at age 3. You might ask why you would start with Spanish for a classical language program. The answer is twofold. First, it's just practical. There's not much Latin-based learning material for very young children, but getting Spanish language learning material for very young children is extremely easy.
The second reason has more to do with the Louisville Creative School teaching pedagogy and the shared history of the two languages. European Spanish and Latin have many shared linguistic roots, and the grammars of the two languages are extremely similar, even today. So most children exposed to a Spanish-enriched environment from preschool through the 2nd grade will have a very easy transition to the formal study of Latin in the 3rd grade. In the 5th grade, the Louisville Creative School students will begin the study of Greek, followed by Hebrew in the 7th grade and Arabic in the 9th grade.
A combination of linguistically rigorous curriculum and an arts-infused curriculum will accomplish several complementary goals. First, it will give the Louisville Creative School students a very flexible and creative approach to self-expression. Most students of foreign language have more limited vocabulary in their second languages than they do in their mother tongue, so a great deal of creativity and innovation goes into meaningful communications with more limited vocabulary. The classical languages model of education also emphasizes memorization as a learning tool for the students' benefit. Unfortunately, memorization has become a bit of a dirty word in most public school teaching philosophies, despite its obvious necessity in disciplines such as chemistry, biology, physics, mathematics, engineering, and the dramatic arts. By exposing the Louisville Creative School students early to learning languages, they will develop their own memorization skills and strategies long before it becomes hard work.
Also, the learning of foreign and classical language provides a flexible teaching framework like no other subject. Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences can be applied to the learning of language in every way. Visual spatial learning students can make drawings of items labeled with words. Both verbal and physical imagery can be used by making graphics, charts, and graphs relating to the language curriculum. Bodily kinesthetic learning students can learn language through hands-on learning, dramatic acting, and interactive demonstration. Musical learning students can be taught language through lyrics, speaking rhythmically, poetry, and experiential sound-based multimedia. Interpersonal learning students gain their understanding and learning mainly by interacting with others and will be geared towards group conversational interaction. Intrapersonal learning students will benefit from one-on-one learning relating to the student's own interests and goals. Linguistic learning students have highly developed auditory skills and can learn from teaching strategies that encourage the reading of texts aloud, as well as audiobooks and other verbal-based learning methods. And last, even logical mathematical learning students can be taught to find and to explore linguistical patterns and relationships between words. Such students will learn best through word games.
The trick, of course, is to identify and nurture the student's own particular best learning style, rather than forcing a one style does not really fit anybody learning method, which is all too often delivered in the public schools. While it is impossible for one teacher to teach all intelligence types at one time, it is possible for the entire teaching staff to help all students and their parents to identify the students' most effective learning methods and how to adapt their own individual learning plans. Recognizing that not all students learn the same way and that all students' best learning methods will change over time, and having a curriculum and teaching staff that will adapt to the student is the single most important aspect of the Louisville Creative School that separates it from other educational institutions.
All of which brings us to you. What can you do? There are many things you can do. First, click on any of the sharing buttons to let your friends know about our work. Even if you cannot do anything else, helping us get the word out about our work will be more help than you can possibly imagine.
Second, there's the donation. With this Indiegogo project, we are aiming to raise $250,000. This is 100% of our projected first-year budget. This will cover costs such as staff salaries, rent, educational materials, art supplies, books, and all the equipment for a modern preschool for our future location. If 10,000 individuals give $25 apiece, we'll have accomplished our fundraising goal. You can, of course, give more.
While the Louisville Creative School will be starting with preschool-age children, our long-range plan is to have fully functioning primary, middle, and high school, all of which begins today with you. Please help, and thank you for your time and attention.